What is extremely important to understand when we look at the economy today is that the official unemployment statistics do not reflect the real reality of what's going on in our economy, because official statistics do not include people who have given up looking for work. If you are in a community where 15 or 20% of the people are unemployed, you have given up looking for work, but you are not part of the official unemployment statistics. And what happens if you want to work 40 hours a week, but you can only find a job for 20 hours a week or 25 hours a week? Well, you're also not a statistic. So the reality is that if you add all of those factors together, people who are officially unemployed, people who have given up looking for work, people who are working part-time when they want to work full-time, what you're looking at is 17% of working-age Americans today are in that category, which adds up to 26 million Americans, an astronomical number, an indication of a real catastrophe in our economy. So, Mr. Bernanke, I'm sorry to disagree with you, but in my view, and in the view of the vast majority of the American people, this recession is not over. And in fact, in terms of unemployment numbers, it may in fact even be getting worse. Mr. President, and the issue that we are dealing with right now has to address the crisis of long-term unemployment. It's one thing to lose your job and get another job a few weeks later. Is another thing not to be able to find a job month after month after month, and there are millions of Americans in that category. Mr. President, today, 5.4 million Americans have been unemployed for over 6 months, the highest on record. Let me repeat that. 5.4 million Americans have been unemployed for over 6 months, the highest on record. So long-term unemployment is a major, major crisis in this country, and it is one that we have got to address, and it is one that we have to deal with in terms of extending unemployment benefits. The average length of unemployment is now 27 weeks. That's over 6 months. That's over half a year. And that is the longest since the end of World War II. There are fewer jobs in America today than there were in the year 2000. Even though the workforce has grown by 12 million since then. This is a shrinking workforce. We now have the fewest manufacturing jobs than at any time since April of 1941, 8 months before the start of World War II. And the importance of that is that manufacturing was the mechanisms by which working families were able to carve out a middle-class existence. They had decent wages, decent benefits. They had a union, they may have had a pension program. But today we now have the fewest manufacturing jobs than any time since April of 1941.